Jenny, can I get you to organise copies of these for the meeting in the regional sector this afternoon, please?
Sure, Bernard. Why don't you take some time out? You look terrible.
I'm all right. Anyway, I've got far too much to do. Oh!
Oh my God! Bernard! Donna, call an ambulance. He's having a heart attack. Can you hear me? Bernard, can you hear me?
Ambulance, are you reporting an emergency?
Stop breathing.
Yes, my boss, he's just collapsed.
I'm going
You
to
know
start
what's
CPR.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. A heart attack, maybe. I don't know.
Do you have a defibrillator available?
No, we don't.
An ambulance is on its way to you.
Oh, please hurry,
The patient is a male in his mid-40s. The operation centre is giving medical advice. CPR is in progress.
Each year, sudden cardiac arrest strikes approximately 30,000 people in Australia. Many of these people have no warning, since they show no prior symptoms. And sadly, fewer than 5% survive. Despite the best efforts of the ambulance service, factors such as remote locations, traffic congestion, high-rise buildings and many more can make it difficult for paramedics to reach the patient within the critical period. When sudden cardiac arrest occurs, the electrical system of the heart short-circuits, often causing an abnormal rhythm known as ventricular fibrillation. Lacking proper blood flow, the person loses consciousness, stops breathing, and will die unless promptly treated. CPR is very important as it buys time for a person in cardiac arrest, but it alone cannot save lives. A shock from a defibrillator is needed to restore the heart's normal pumping rhythm. A victim's best chance of surviving sudden cardiac arrest is to receive that shock as soon as possible after collapse. For every minute defibrillation is delayed, the chance of survival falls by about 10%. The Heart Start First Aid Defibrillator has been designed for the ordinary person in the extraordinary moment. The innovative technology, based on extensive research and user feedback, has produced a defibrillator so easy to use that, with a little training, you can potentially save the life of a co-worker, friend, or anyone else stricken with sudden cardiac arrest in those vital first minutes.
Jenny, can I get you to organise copies of these for the meeting in the regional sector this afternoon, please?
Sure, Bernard. Why don't you take some time out? You look terrible.
I'm all right. Anyway, I've got far too much to do. Oh!
Oh my God! Bernard! Donna, call an ambulance. He's having a heart attack. Can you hear me? Bernard, can you hear me?
Ambulance, are you reporting an emergency?
Stop breathing.
Yes, my boss, he's just collapsed.
I'm going to
You know
start
what's
CPR. Get the heart start.
Do you have a defibrillator available?
Yes, we do.
Good, I want you to stay on the line.
Okay, please hurry, please.
The patient is a male in his mid-40s. The operation centre is giving medical advice. CPR is in progress and there's a defibrillator on scene.
When patient's chest is bare, remove protective cover and take out white adhesive pads. Look carefully at the pictures on the white adhesive pads. Peel one pad from the yellow plastic liner. Place pad exactly as shown in the picture. Press firmly to patient's bare skin. When the first pad is in place, look carefully at the picture on the second pad. Peel the second pad from the yellow plastic liner. Place pad exactly as shown in the picture. No one should touch the patient. Analyzing. Analyzing. Shock advised. Stay clear of patient. Press the flashing orange button now. Deliver shock. Shock delivered. Analyzing. Shock not advised.
With the Laerdal Heart Start First Aid Defibrillator, everyone can help save a life. The chain of survival has 4 major links. 1. Early call for help. 2. Early CPR. 3. Early defibrillation. And 4. Arrival of emergency medical services. The Heart Start is crucial to the 3rd link in the chain. With minimal training, a first aider can help save a life. Its ease of use is supported by calming natural voice instructions to coach the first aider through the steps of first aid defibrillation. And if required, calming instructive voice prompts will also guide the user in delivering CPR. The comprehensive automatic self-tests check all the Heart Start First Aid Defibrillator's vital functions on a daily, weekly and monthly schedule, ensuring it's always ready for emergency life-saving. The Heart Start is an essential piece of equipment for all places of work, social venues and the home.
As used now, defibrillation is not dangerous because defibrillation will not be applied by a machine unless a person has the condition of ventricular fibrillation. Well, anyone can use a Heart Start. I think there is a perception that defibrillators can only be used by people who are well trained in their use, and of course people well trained in their use know how to use these defibrillators. I think what we can do in Australia to save more lives is to try and find ways of having defibrillators so that they can be used well within that 10-minute period before the ambulance usually arrives. And that can be done by having defibrillators available like fire extinguishers. There are big difficulties in trying to implement the ideal with defibrillation. We know that if it's used within 1 minute of the onset of ventricular fibrillation, virtually no one dies unless the original cause of that was something catastrophic or serious. Whereas if it's over 10 minutes or so, very few live, and that's the reality in our society. Now, how one reduces that time to something 2-3 minutes is the challenge that we all face. I don't think we can get the ambulance responding any faster than it can. Despite all the best efforts of ambulance officers, of government in providing emergency services, they cannot get there in that period of time. So we have to find some other way of being able to implement defibrillation very early. And clearly that means the proximity of a defibrillator.
Rodney, I guess you're as excited about the automatic defibrillation program as what I am. I've had some involvement now for 2 years in Queensland, and I'm pretty happy with the number of defibs that we've actually got in the community. And your testament is one of the results of those. Can you tell us a story?
Yes, it was about a year ago, almost to the day, and I didn't finish my round of golf. I fairly improperly fell over on the 6th hole, held up the whole field, and I died for 8 minutes, I understand, and thank God they brought me back to life, and I'm still here today, I think back to normal.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic, because you're the actual 4th person that's been saved with an automatic defib. by a community member within 2.5 years of my knowledge. Okay, well that's excellent, Rodney. I know Queensland Ambulance, especially in the area that I manage in Brisbane, we've got 26 locations set up now, and that includes a lot of golf clubs and bowling clubs. Anywhere that there's a large group of, of people
Old
gathered.
blokes.
Of old guys, especially bowling clubs. They're a good target group. We've got Treasury Casino and a number of other larger clubs. So the whole aim is to saturate the community with these defibs so people like yourself can get that shock very, very early and have a wonderful outcome that you're enjoying now. Thanks, Rodney.
Thanks,
no problem.
Peter.
Go ahead.
A number of Australian workplaces and sporting venues have already implemented life-saving defibrillation programs. The MCG in Melbourne is an example of where a defibrillator program is already saving lives after having been implemented by the St John Ambulance Service. A recent study of cardiac arrests occurring at the MCG and the Shrine of Remembrance showed that of 28 victims of sudden cardiac arrest, 71% left the hospital alive after having been treated at the scene with the Heart Start defibrillator. These statistics, compared to the average survival rate in Australia of around 5%, certainly argue a strong case. The Laerdal Heart Start defibrillator, for the ordinary person in the extraordinary moment. Can you risk not having one? The life saved could be your own.